Alright, so we need to find the points A and B on this curve. It's an inverse cos curve. So in the black, I've drawn our normal inverse cos of x. Of course, if it's f of x minus 1, it's moved, it's translated 1 unit to the right. So it becomes that red curve. And we're looking for where the tangent has a gradient of -2. So it's a negative gradient, and it's a -2. So for example, it might be about there, but also that would be the same gradient. So we want to find both points. So for example, let's make that A and that B. Alright, so of course, in order to find those, so we're looking at where the tangent has, so tangent has a gradient of -2, so y dash would equal -2, so let's find y dash first. So if we're looking at inverse cos curve, we know from our formula booklet that we've got one, it's the same as the inverse sine but with a negative for inverse cos, so I'll just put a negative out front. And then the function is x minus 1, and of course the derivative of that function is 1, so we're all good here. So we're looking for where that is equal to -2, where the derivative is equal to -2. So if I divide by that 2, oops, -2 even, if I divide by that -2, that becomes a half, and then here I've got the square root of 1 minus x minus 1 all squared. If I square both sides, that would be a quarter, and then that's x minus 1 all squared. If I put my x minus 1 all squared on this side, and then I've got 1 minus a quarter here, I've got 3/4. So you can see if I square root both sides, I'm going to get plus or minus √3 on 2. And that gives me 1 plus or minus √3 on 2. So one of the points will have 1 plus √3 on 2, and the other one will have 1 minus √3 on 2 for its x value. If that's the case, we can then put it inside our y. So if I'm looking at, so if I did 1 plus √3 on 2 and put it in here, and then subtracted 1, it would be √3 on 2, and let's call that y of A, and then actually we could tell in a minute, actually that would be y of B, because that would be the bigger one, so that would be over here, the more positive x value, and then the less positive x value I've made, doesn't matter what you make them, I've made A, and if I put x is 1 minus √3 on 2, I've now got negative √3 on 2 here as my y value. So what am I going to get there? So when I do √3 on 2, that is going to give me a pi on 30 degrees, so pi on 6, and this is a negative, so I know it's going to be in that second quadrant, is minus 5 pi on 6, 5 pi on 6 to make it negative. So therefore my points are going to be, excuse me, so this point here I've made, so that's 1 minus √3 on 2 for my x value, and 5 pi on 6, you can see it's higher up, isn't it? It's in the second quadrant there. And this B one is 1 plus √3 on 2 and pi on 6.